Good evening to all friends and respected message. Today's I got priceless time and opportunity to express presentation of Manmohan Singh and economic reforms. Let's start with the introduction. Manmohan Singh, he was a educated economist, prime minister in India, and he was born in 26 September 1932. In school times, he was a brilliant student in student journey, and he always top in the class, and in many haters call him without any reasons anything like silent people, silent person, Manu Baba, and that's all kinds of things the haters tells him, but they not point out and they ignore him. The Manmohan Singh he worked in partition times. He was born in Punjab's, but in the partition times he comes in Amritsar and complete his education in college, Hindu college. After that college completing college, he admission in University of Punjab. After that completing the university, he goes in England and Cambridge and Oxford and Cambridge, two universities read and pursue the degree of doctorate in economist. He started his journey in 1969 in Delhi School of Economics, professor of economist in 1969 to 1972. In 1972, he members of he the chief economics advisor of economics finance ministry to till 1976. In 1976, he was a economic chief advisor, chief financial secretary of finance ministry. In 1980, he was 1980 to 1982, he was in planning commission. In 1982, in the financial ministry of Pranab Mukherjee, he becomes a governor of Reserve Bank of India to till date 1985. In 1985 to 1987, he was the chief of economic advisor. No sir, planning commission. Sorry, planning commission. And
he was earlier a planning member of
yes sir,
commission.
but
he became the RBI governor.
Yes sir. Next time the chief of planning commission, sir, 89. And 19 in the time of decades of 19, the governance of India is very bad. Some governor comes in power and goes in the power. The conditions are very bad, and the IMF many time alerts to India to bad condition of balance of payment always. And the time of 1989, also have India faces Gulf War and rise of prices, Gulf War, and many foreign investing and bad conditions of India. And in 1991, he become finance ministry in the P.V. Narasimha Rao's prime minister, and P.V. Narasimha Rao's PM, and he was taken many steps like he hold the gold in Switzerland banks and also England, and also he becomes open the economics and take a step of LPG and also offer the foreign investor in India in 1991. And he was not common situations of he was a historic moment of India, because in the time of independence to till 1990, the the government of India was licensee Raj, and then in 1991 he closed the licensee Raj, and also the LPG work on LPG. In this LPG, he worked on also privatizations. He worked on share equity, and so controls these types of taps. He established the SEBI to control these taps, and roles. And also in a prime minister, as a prime minister, he never fall the economic never fall decrease in NDA government have a 5 point something's GDP. They in Manmohan Singh he plus the 8 or something's 9% of GDP in grow in 2004 to 2014's government. He was also appointed like any job as a PM. He like doing like a job PM in the duration of 2004 to 2009. He worked very good, but in the second governance was very bad because of the corruption. There are many corruption like 2G, Koila, and economics, Commonwealth, and many corruption are doings in second governance. In the he also worked on in duration of 2004 to 2014. He worked on also right to information, and also worked on the right to education to 6-7 years to 14 year children to education, necessary to educations, and unique authorities, also rural employment, and he's also changed the Narega to Manrega, and in globalization steps he reduced the traffics, and also offered the foreign investors and partition, and long term trade policy also comes. And the conclusion in the research of Manmohan Singh's journeys, I see that he was not any politician. He always elected from the Rajya Sabha, not a Lok Sabha, and he not meanings of any greed of any positions. He always worked for the country, and he successful to add a historic chapter in India in economist. And thank you for investing time in presentation. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, you tell me one contribution of Manmohan Singh being member of planning commission.
Sorry, sir.
You don't know? Tell me the same question, but when he became a RBI governor, what kind of steps did he took to reform the banking sector?
He gives many powers to banks, especially RBI.
RBI governor.
Yes, sir.
That's why Raghuram Rajan got a
Yes.
brilliant power,
Yes.
which did not get well with the Arun Jaitley.
Yes, sir.
It is only 1.0. Tell me. Okay, very good. Okay, you tell me how the balance of payment crisis
Yes, sir.
got rid of because of this effort.
Yes. Balance of payment, it means import or export, depend on import or export. It is not if the both are not controls, then these crises are comes like import,
So how
export.
Manmohan Singh,
Yes, sir.
along with P.V. Narasimha Rao,
Yes, sir.
how they took the steps to get rid of this balance of payment crisis? What they did?
Yes, sir.
in
They
Myanmar?
yes, sir. The first of all, they offer the foreign investor, and they opens the license also. They finish the license and registration, especially foreign, and they also make many steps for foreign, foreign and also the decrease the taxes.
What is the meaning of license Raj?
License Raj, it means the in these situations the peoples have to impress many ministry of government.
Clap for him. Excellent, excellent. Very good.